Hello. We're going to talk about edge controllers and devices with related trends and advice. I have with me Charlie Emerson, Director of Industry Marketing for Emerson's Machine Automation Solutions business. Charlie has more than 10 years of experience of working with automation companies and is currently responsible for leveraging Emerson's PACSystems and Movicon platforms to create industry-specific automation solutions. I'm Mark Hoske, Control Engineering Content Manager. Charlie, hello.
Morning, Mark.
So what market trends are being addressed by your company's latest products and services?
Well, what we're really trying to address is more data and data processing, specifically at the edge. We hear from a lot of customers that they've got all this trapped machine data and they're looking to optimize things. We're also hearing that they're struggling to implement it successfully and quickly because they've got different hardware and different software packages. So what we've done is with our PACSystems Edge solutions portfolio, we're now providing bundles of software on hardware devices that's ready to go, deployable out of the box, so that the customer can put their own analytics package on, or we've got some already pre-configured analytics packages to help the customer improve their quality, improve their throughput, reduce their machine downtime, and ultimately improve their OEE and productivity.
So I imagine that improves visualization quite a bit to be able to have that information in one place.
It absolutely does. We can pre-configure dashboards or allow the customers and the manufacturers to create their own dashboards. This gives them visibility into the machines. It helps the operators to understand how to troubleshoot machines more quickly. Yeah, and we can also take any of that visualization directly on the machine, or we enable remote visualization. So plant managers or maintenance people who may not be on site can start to look at machine data from a smartphone or from a PC.
So what kind of customers would be most interested in these kinds of offerings?
We see the most interest from end user manufacturer customers. These have historically and are typically manufacturers who are on a digital journey. They're interested in IIoT. They've started with some digital transformation and they want to keep going. Some of them may have tried some cloud computing aspects, but they're now looking and they've realized that to take the machine data, they want to be doing processing on site directly at the machine where it makes the most sense and where they can get the most insights that are valuable to that machine or to a direct production line. We've seen this across industries, food and beverage, pharmaceutical, CPG manufacturers. We've also had some interest from OEMs and system integrators as well, who on the OEM side, they're interested in taking more of this edge technology and using it as a value proposition to customers that they're selling to so that they can gain more visualization into the machine. They can understand what's going on with the machine subsystems and help to troubleshoot it more quickly.
Can this help with various metrics like uptime, quality, OEE?
It absolutely can. They gained visualization into that. We're also able to start correlating data. So we talked about the trapped machine data. We can now correlate machine data, various set points, to production data so that they start to understand and trend when the machine is set a certain way. That correlates to better production, better quality, reduced downtime. So again, it goes back to helping with their productivity, helping them to become more effective.
So we've heard a lot about edge devices in the last few years. What are some of the market drivers pushing development and use of edge devices?
Well, some of the market drivers right now are really around the easier implementation. There's been hardware devices and there's been edge software and analytics packages that customers can implement, but there's been hurdles, there's been stumbling by customers and by manufacturers as they've sought to implement that. So the driver that we're really trying to address is that ease of implementation to get customers up and running more quickly. By having our edge software on the hardware, then it's validated. There's less time implementing and configuring that, so that the customer can just worry about getting the right data into the analytics package, building out the trending or building out the algorithms they need, and drive insights and drive productivity improvements more quickly.
Are there communications issues involved with machine level software like this? How can edge devices help with that?
From a communication standpoint, we've really simplified that by having specifically our Connext package contained within all of our devices. This allows for all the communication to be able to come in, translate it, and it's easily interpretable by the edge device. Additionally, we rely heavily on OPC UA within our own devices, specifically our edge controller. We use OPC UA to take data directly from a PLC side, a deterministic side of the controller, over to the edge processing side. This happens seamlessly. The data comes over, doesn't require any cleansing from a development standpoint. It's very easy to do. It can be analyzed, and then that data can immediately be ported back over via OPC UA, or rather the insight can be ported back over to advise the PLC to improve the productivity and improve the programming of that PLC.
Could you talk a little bit about scalability, small customers, big customers, machine level to enterprise?
Yeah, that's one of the really nice things about our portfolio. A lot of our customers are wanting to start small. So they're interested in optimizing an individual machine, and they may have a vision to go larger. But what we enable is one common tool set across the entire portfolio that allows them to go in and deploy analytics at a machine level in a very straightforward way. They can start to see the ROI, they can start to see the value that they'll gain from that. And then using that same tool set, they can scale that up. They can increase, they can take edge computing up to a line level. They can implement plant-wide or enterprise level pro lean or pro energy analytics, so that they can improve not just an individual machine, but a whole line. Additionally, it's a common set of graphics packages that we're using. So there's efficiency gained from an operator and maintenance standpoint. Operators are very used to the machines and going into the HMIs, being able to get the data they need after they've learned one graphics package on that individual machine, that proof of concept. As it scales up to a line level, we take those same dashboards and those same graphic packages up to that line level. So those maintenance operators can really be looking at the same thing. There's less of a learning curve as they scale up.
What industry trends are changing what you've been doing, especially with challenges related to the COVID-19 pandemic?
That's a great question. And what we've really seen over the past year or so, what we continue to hear about is a lack of manpower, lack of labor. Manufacturers are trying to do the same, keep their machines running, keep their throughput up with less manpower. And on top of that, they're seeing demand increase. So they're actually trying to produce more with less manpower. What that's created is this need for increased visibility into their machines. They want more predictive, more trending, so that they can use the same maintenance personnel or the same operators to operate multiple different machines. Edge enables all of this. Computing at the edge and taking data from the machines enables this by enabling remote notifications direct to mobile devices. With trending and subsystem analysis, it also enables maintenance operators to start looking through trends of the machine subsystems and do preventive or predictive maintenance rather than set preventive maintenance schedules, or worse, waiting for the machine to go down to do maintenance, they can start to look at trends of the subsystems and make conscious decisions to take a machine offline, do preventive maintenance on specific components that are starting to trend negatively, to ultimately drive more out of their machines.
Do you see your customers and prospects expanding upon or moving away from changes made during the pandemic? And how are you helping with those issues?
I really think this is here to stay. Just like we saw trends of automation go from manual to automation, this is the next level of that. This is automation optimization. We started to see it begin before the pandemic, and really the pandemic has just accelerated things. It's here to stay, and I actually think that it's going to scale up. That's why we're preparing ourselves for that. We have a scalable portfolio. Our PACSystems Edge solutions start at an HMI level and do scale up to more of an enterprise SCADA, enterprise optimization, using one common tool set. So as manufacturers adopt more of this, as they become more comfortable with the technology, we're prepared to help them very quickly.
Are you seeing major differences in how customers have adapted and are progressing in different areas of the world?
No, we're not really seeing differences there. We've got customers in China, we've got customers in South America and North America, and their implementation has all been very similar. Every customer has different hurdles that they have to overcome for themselves, but the ultimate implementation is usually very similar. We've got one specific customer right now that's a global CPG manufacturer, and they've adopted our edge computing solution. They've implemented it in South America. They'll be implementing it in North America next, and they're adopting it across their global production lines. So after the North American implementation, they'll be moving to Europe, implementing it there, and then finally in Asia. All of the same general platform and architecture.
What lessons learned can be applied from this pandemic to help with future manufacturing challenges?
The pandemic caused everything to stop very quickly and then start again very quickly. And manufacturers were caught on their heels with that. They are trying, they've been trying for the past year to increase their productivity, to increase automation, and they've stumbled through it. What we're doing, and I think what they can learn from it, is having an automation strategy and having an automation vision at the onset helps to move and to react quickly. For manufacturers that did have an automation strategy, we've been able to come in and quickly help them architect edge solutions to make them more productive more quickly. For the manufacturers that automated individual lines and moved piece by piece throughout their factory, they've struggled connecting different pieces of automation because those were done with different vendors on different platforms, and they've seen challenges in getting all of the data in the right format to the right place, and then being able to get any type of insight or analysis out of that. So I think the real takeaway is to maintain flexibility and be able to react quickly. Manufacturers need that automation vision. They need the automation strategy. They don't have to implement it immediately. It can be implemented piece by piece, but it's important to understand and set the foundation so that when they do need to build it up quickly, the foundation is set and they can quickly put on the right pieces, whether it be standard automation or optimizing their automation with edge solutions.
What type of sales and support tools are available?
On our website, we do have traditional sales support. We also have our full Movicon development tool and runtime available for download. It's available in a 2-hour demo version. So I would encourage everyone to go out, download it if you're interested in this. We've got the software development tool as well as demo projects that are representative of the different industries and the different applications. For example, we've got a full manufacturing line, we've got a bottling line, we've got a filler machine. This gives potential customers an opportunity to test drive the software. They can understand how the programming would be done, how they can build up their screens, how they can build the analytics. They can also start to see the runtime and the visualizations that an operator would see, and they can start to play with the idea of how an operator or a maintenance worker would navigate through that to get the most out of the machine.
Can you talk about competitors in the edge device marketplace and some of the key differences in product offering, sales, or support?
Yeah, we've really focused more on customers than competitors, and we've really sought to alleviate the customer's pain point. Part of that pain point was having multiple vendors, competitors or vendors on the hardware side and the software side. We've now taken all of that and put it into one bundle. That helps the customer, and that is really a differentiator of our edge solution compared to a software-only edge solution or analytics package or a hardware edge package. There are some of the larger competitors out there that have similar offerings, that have software on top of their hardware that's validated in a similar way. They don't have quite the same tool set that's uniform and consistent from small to large scale. So that is one of the things that really differentiates us. As manufacturers are looking to scale, as they're starting with pilots and seeking to go into an enterprise level edge solution, we really do have the tools and the graphics packages to offer consistency and ease of learning curve when they're implementing these solutions.
Thanks for talking about the demos and the customers. What are your prospects or leaders in the market saying about these offerings?
They're liking it at this point. We actually have an OEM customer who we've talked to, and they elected to use our edge computing platform. They've put it on one of their lines of machines, and they're selling those machines to end users. So we've got two levels of feedback. Their end users are telling them that the machines run more consistently now. The maintenance workers have more clear visibility. There doesn't have to be an operator on top of that machine all the time because they've enabled the remote notifications. So their end users of the machines are finding the analytics packages to be very good and really help them to do maintenance. From their side as an OEM, they're seeing value because they're able to offer it to other prospects, other customers as a value addition. So customers who want packaging equipment can now utilize their machine and gain the analytics packages and the edge computing right from that OEM manufacturer.
What's next in the product services development pipeline?
Well, I already mentioned that we believe edge is here to stay, and we're going to continue investing in this edge platform. We believe we've got the foundation right now, and we've started to build the range within the portfolio, the scalable portfolio from small to large. We're going to continue building out more of the analytics because we want to continue making it easy for customers to implement. We've taken out the first hurdle by having the software and the hardware tied together. We've got some analytics packages for certain machine types or entire facilities, but we're going to continue building out the easy to implement analytics packages to further make it very, very easy for customers or system integrators to apply this to existing machines and gain productivity by optimizing that automation. We're ultimately trying to help the customers to become more productive, get more throughput, reduce their downtime.
Are there other things that we didn't cover that you'd like to discuss now?
You know, we've talked a lot about edge, and edge is a little bit more forward thinking. It is still newer. It is still being adopted. I would say what we didn't talk about was traditional automation, and we do have our PACSystems and PACMotion portfolios for customers and manufacturers that are taking those first steps in automation and are interested in traditional PLCs or gaining efficiency in some of their motion. Then Emerson has very reliable solutions for that as well. I also talked about this idea of having an automation strategy, and I think that we're in a position to help manufacturers. If they are starting that automation journey and they're interested in a basic PLC or a full enterprise level edge solution, we've got solution architects and application engineers who can help them, who can advise them on developing that automation strategy, which is ultimately going to help them be more successful and beat their competition in the future.
That raises an interesting question. How does one decide between an edge solution or traditional PLC?
Well, they're really different technologies. When we talk about our traditional automation of PLC, you're really talking about deterministic logic, running a machine or coordinating between machines based on logic, based on rules. With Edge, we're able to take machine learning, we're able to build algorithms in there and take external information, be it downstream quality, be it actual production output, and input that into the algorithm, into the analytics to create insights. That's going to help the machines or advise the operators how to run the machines in a more productive way.
Great. Finally, Charlie, where can people go for more information?
Well, as we already talked about, we've got our website, emerson.com/PACSystems. There you can find information about our traditional automation as well as all of our edge solutions.
Well, thanks very much, Charlie Emerson, Director of Industry Marketing at Emerson. I'm Mark Hoske, Content Manager for Control Engineering. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mark.